Hollywood, USA, the perfect place for stars from entertainment, sports, and beyond to meet at Dodger Stadium. This is the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game. High above beautiful Dodger Stadium. It's like going back in time. Early 60s, a beautiful stadium, a beautiful night where it will be the Brooklyn Dodgers against the Los Angeles Dodgers. A nod to the great history of this great franchise. Thanks for joining us alongside Lauren Gardner. I'm Robert Flores. We're going to be in store for a very exciting night of celebrity softball action. And Lauren, I'm a sucker for anything celebrity.
Ditto.
Whether it's celebrity watching, celebrity basketball, or in this case, celebrity softball, for a couple of reasons. One, it's cool to see famous people maybe out of their element, but also it's cool to see famous people maybe in their element, and maybe an element we didn't know about.
Yeah, some sneaky good athletes in the mix. We're going to get to the lineups here in just a minute, Rofo. But yeah, it was really fun just being at the pregame party. We were interviewing some of those guys and gals on Twitter, and just to see some of them taking hacks in the cage. I have to call my shot tonight and say that JoJo Siwa is going to have a big game. She's been working on her swing. But yeah, it's just so cool to be amongst all these people who are the best at their respective crafts.
Yeah, JoJo was getting some hitting lessons from Hunter Pence after her last appearance in the celebrity softball game. And here was Hunter Pence revealing to this Dodger crowd that he still wears the orange and the black. And there's Joel McHale and Olympian Chloe Kim. Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Jesus, part of Jesus and Mero, that great comedic duo on Showtime. And like I said, we've got stars from sports, entertainment, and beyond. There's JoJo Siwa. There's The Miz. He's my pick, Lauren, to repeat as MVP, the most must-see superstar in the history of the WWE. Now, Lauren, we're going to play 5 innings here. This isn't 9 innings, but we are getting 5 innings. But here are the rules, Lauren, and I'm hoping that, first of all, 5-inning game, maximum of 10 batters per half inning. And then in case
we can appreciate.
No one
needs the 12 batter half.
But here's what would be great. If there's a tie at the end of the game, it's going to be settled via a home run derby.
Isn't that your dream? That's kind of the dream
Absolutely.
for any game.
I would love to see how it plays out, which team selects which celebrity to take the hacks, but that's what we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll have a pre-home run derby prior to Monday's home run derby as part of All-Star Week.
Which I would not be mad about seeing. Now we have some ringers in the mix, obviously some former professional ball players, so I almost feel like it would be cheating if you threw some of them in there. But yeah, The Miz was really confident just about an hour ago when we were chatting with him before this game. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. And of course, Jenny Finch, a mainstay in this event. Yeah,
she's been a frequent member of the Celebrity All-Star Softball Game. You mentioned, Lauren, the handful of couple of former major leaguers. CC Sabathia, Adrian Beltre, Andre Ethier is also here. So some former Dodgers getting a chance to play on this beautiful field yet again.
How about Coyle Ray getting some pointers there from the kid Miro?
Yeah, and there once again, there's Jenny Finch. Quavo is here. Bad Bunny got, no doubt, got the biggest reaction when they were introduced here at Dodger Stadium.
Yo, this place was lit. this guy an
Joel
athlete
McHale.
through and through. Hijacked our pregame show.
Yeah, Joel McHale, as you said, he did hijack the pregame show. Prior to that shot of Joel McHale, there was Anthony Ramos, formerly of Hamilton.
Yep.
And he is one of the players to watch, Lauren, because he is a very good player, plays a lot in they have a Broadway softball league there in New York City, and he was a big part of the Hamilton team that lost in the championship.
A Central Park Slugger. Who did he say? I forgot which place.
I think he said they lost to Matilda.
Matilda, you're right. He said
I have not seen that show, but there's J.K. Simmons.
God, how fun
Whiplash. I mean, that movie, Whiplash, that he made, just an unbelievable performance, an Academy Award-winning performance. And are you a sucker for animation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, his series on Prime Video, or Amazon Prime, Invincible. Unbelievable, great stuff. And there is Bad Bunny, who is going to be leading off, I believe, for Team Los Angeles. Once again, it's Team Los Angeles against Team Brooklyn. Obviously a nod to the history of the great Dodger franchise. But
here he goes. It sounds like he's going out to Ray.
Hey, let me know. Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, we have some of the celebrities that are mic'd up and they have earpieces, so hopefully we can chat with them throughout the broadcast. There's former Dodger Sean Green.
It's really fun to see that they were able to get some of the former greats in this game, in the mix, probably to impart some of their wisdom, obviously on the field, but just to provide some entertainment off the field as well. Keep the line moving, right, Rofo?
That's right, that's right. It looks like we're going to be ready to start here as Brian Cranston is going to be behind the plate. And on the mound,
You want me to call it for it, or you want
Andre Ethier, also formerly of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
You know, I was just chatting with him before the game as the music gets a little bit louder here inside Dodger Stadium. It's an absolute vibe right now, Rofo. He was saying, you know, number one, I'm pumped to be a part of this game.
Yeah.
Number two, he's actually intimidated to face Jenny Finch because when she gets a little frustrated out there, she'll put a little heat on that ball, and there's some movement on that thing.
Yeah, we've seen Jenny Finch strike out major leaguers.
Including Albert
in the past,
Pujols.
including Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
As you see Bad Bunny chatting it up with Sean Green, which I have to say is a sentence I thought I would never utter during my broadcasting career, but here we are.
Remember when we were talking about how you should refer to Bad Bunny? How do you address Sir Bunny?
I think it's Mr. Bunny.
Mr. Bunny to you.
Yeah, it's Mr. Bunny. There's a good look at Hannah Stocking. All right, here we go. Quavo leading off for Team Brooklyn. There's a grounder to second, flip to first, and Quavo is out, and quickly there's one down here in the top of the first.
How about that? Joel McHale reaching over with the toss to Lisa Fernandez. He has the range, he has the athleticism. He actually played football in college, and he definitely knows what he's doing out there. He looks like he's having a good time.
All right, now batting.
Oh boy.
Hunter Pence, former major leaguer, spent time with the Astros, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Texas Rangers, but Dodger fans remember
tonight. I don't know if you know that.
They remember his time with the San Francisco Giants.
He's even rocking the orange socks. He's just sticking it to Dodgers fans here tonight.
Oh, brush back by Andre Ethier.
What? I love to see it.
A little chin music there from Andre Ethier. Hey, Andre Ethier knows about that rivalry. Played all 12 of his major league seasons here with the Dodgers.
Yeah, Ethier a mainstay here with this organization.
That ball sent deep to left, going back, and it is out of here. Hunter Pence goes yard for Team Brooklyn, and he's showing the Giant colors, the orange and the black. Life. As he's greeted by his Team Brooklyn teammates.
Cork. That is cork.
Ruffalo, that thing almost went into the stands here at Dodger Stadium.
That's a great point.
He hit the cover off of that ball.
It cleared the temporary fence, and as you said, Lauren, it almost reached the real-life fence here, and he knew it as soon as he hit it.
Wow, he got a hold of that thing. After he got a little chin music from Ethier, he took that thing yard off the wall. All smiles there for Hunter Pence as Jenny Finch comes to the plate.
Jenny Finch, Olympic softball gold medalist. She sends one to left field. JoJo Siwa can't make the play, and Jenny Finch will stroll into second base.
Did you hear the frustration from Jenny Finch?
Now, Lauren,
we almost did that. We missed it by an inch.
Now, Lauren, they're calling this a hit, but I think the official score is being kind, as JoJo Siwa overran that ball. So now you got a runner at second base for Anthony Ramos.
Man, and JoJo was so close to that thing.
Actor, musician, of course, star of Hamilton. Lauren, his walk-up song is actually his own song.
Why wouldn't it be? If you've made it that far, I would use my own music as my walk-up song. Great advice he imparted, basically to anyone looking to get into the industry or really follow their dreams earlier.
There's a grounder to second, or grounder to short, throw across to first, not in time, and Jenny Finch will go to third. And it's an infield hit for Anthony Ramos.
And that was Natasha Watley over to Lisa Fernandez, two former professional softball players. But when you're in an atmosphere like this, you can see the mound is covered up, obviously, to protect the field for future festivities throughout All-Star Week. So I don't want to make excuses. I'm just saying maybe the sun was in their eyes.
Could be.
But I mean, you want to talk about the atmosphere here, Roflo. Everyone is just having such a great time. It's such a relaxed vibe.
Now, Croy Leroy, pop star, entertainer, entrepreneur. She was initially standing in front of home plate. Now she's set up. Now she's ready to go.
I think her stance looks pretty good.
Okay, she makes contact. Grounded to short. They'll get one, but Jenny Finch will come home for the second run for Brooklyn. So an RBI for Croy Leroy.
You know what? Your first AB, first pitch, not much else you can ask for. She should be proud about that one. By the way, they almost turned two.
They almost did turn two. Fielder's choice RBI for Croy Leroy, and that'll bring up the big man, CC Sabathia, who I think, Lauren, will eventually be in the Hall of Fame.
I completely agree with you.
He sends one deep. It's playable.
Oh, another
JoJo Siwa can't make the play as it falls into no man's land. And Leray is going to round third, play at the plate, and she scores. CC Sabathia is going to stroll into second.
She missed the plate and had to go back, Roflo.
That ball just seemed to land in no man's land for CC Sabathia, allowing Leray to come across to score, and it's 3-0.
How great is this sequence right here? She's coming in hard. Bryan Cranston ready to go.
She did miss home plate. She did miss. Hey, that's a great job by the Miz, pointing out that she did not touch home plate.
That was amazing. Great teammates, so much fun. That's what this event is all about. Adrian Beltre now at the dish.
Here's, yes, Adrian Beltre, four-time All-Star, over 3,100 hits. Spent some seasons in Los Angeles with the Dodgers. Got his 3,000th hit as a member of the Texas Rangers. That's Brian.
That's off the plate, yeah. If it hits there, it's a strike, isn't it?
I love the passion. I love the passion for Bryan Cranston here.
Oh, he's not messing around. I think he was tempted to take Croy Leroy out.
High fly ball in foul ground. Cranston going to give it a try, but he can't make the play.
Roflo, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
A foul ball, if it were to go into the stands, off of a celebrity in this game, how much would said ball be worth?
I mean, I would think it would be worth, I mean, this might be hyperbole here, but maybe $5 million.
I mean, why not? I mean, from Adrian Beltre of all people?
Yeah, sure, why not?
A softball, too. If you can get that thing authenticated and signed.
Yes.
I know we're going down a completely different road here, but I'm genuinely curious.
Sabathia at second. Beltre at the plate, fouls one back. 3 runs already in.
You can see he's getting a little frustrated.
Top of the first.
Oh, CC's ready to go there at second. The assistant commissioner for Major League Baseball, by the way, named at the beginning of the season. Not the assistant to the commissioner, but the assistant commissioner for those office fans out there.
Did he get a piece of that? I thought it was a swing and a miss, but the umpire rules that he did.
With Hunter Pence.
So 2 down here. There's a good look at Guillermo. Another foul ball into the stands, and Lauren, I think we're going to see your scenario as that ball goes into the stands. Caught by that fan who seems to be thrilled. They're psyched.
How can you not be psyched about getting a souvenir like that? Now all you have to do is get it signed. How hard could that be?
That ball's also going to find the seats. This is quite a battle here. Andre Ethier, Adrian Beltre, 2 former Dodgers.
Did you ever think you'd be calling that matchup?
No.
No.
Brian Cranston wanted that.
Was he trying to frame?
I think, yeah, Brian Cranston is a noted framer.
He can't do it. Same
Fly
spot
ball,
every time.
left field, drifting towards the line, and it is a foul ball.
J.K. Simmons, show a little more hustle out there.
Now J.K. Simmons.
From the runner coming in.
Oh, look at Brian Cranston.
Hit in the chest in batting practice. This is dangerous work.
This is Brian Cranston. Brian Cranston, you be careful out there.
Oh my goodness.
And this one straight up. Cranston has a chance. Can't make the play. Can't make the play. He almost had it. And Lauren, as seriously as he takes baseball, he is furious with himself.
He really is. He actually cares a lot about his performance in this game. He was referring to Anthony Ramos. He was tossing a BP before the game, and he didn't get behind the L screen. Ramos hit him with the comebacker in the chest. Oh, here comes one our way.
There's another chance for Cranston, and this time he makes the catch. So a great job by Brian Cranston, and that will end the inning. But Team Brooklyn scores 3. The Dodgers, Team LA, coming to bat.
Dingers! Shut this crowd up!
Just some of the sights and sounds of the first half inning of this MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball game. We're glad you're with us. Alongside Lauren Gardner, I'm Robert Flores. That was Hunter Pence going deep with some vocal encouragement from WWE superstar The Miz, part of a 3-run first inning. But now here comes Team Los Angeles, and leading off, Lauren, former Dodger Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier looked pretty solid on the mound. He did say he was intimidated to be facing this woman right here, Jenny Finch. She's not going to take it easy on him. Delivers the first pitch. Maybe she is going to take it a little bit easier on him.
Now pitch.
How do you feel about taking? How do you feel about taking pitches?
Let it go.
In these games? I'm good at this soft stuff.
And Andre Ethier skies one in the infield. And that's out number one.
Give it around the horn.
So Andre Ethier flies out, and there's one away here in the bottom of the first as CC Sabathia makes the play. Now, Lauren, we have seen Jenny Finch strike out former major leaguers Albert Pujols and etc. But here's JoJo Siwa, who is stepping to the plate, getting a loud reaction from here at Dodger Stadium. Pop star, dancer, social media influencer, and obviously very, very popular among these fans here at Dodger Stadium.
And tremendous performer. You saw the walk-up. She said she had that planned, a little kickball change.
She's got the leg kick. We saw her working on that during batting practice earlier.
Yeah, she's been focusing on her swing. The second she found out she was going to be in this game, she was hitting the cages. Wow!
And she
Down and
one
hard.
short. Ramos fields and fires, and quickly there's two down. But JoJo Siwa makes some contact, but she's thrown out at first.
Hey, she made solid contact there. She should be really proud of that.
Absolutely. And now, stepping to the plate, arguably the most popular recording artist in the world, Bad Bunny.
Listen to this crowd.
He is a two-time Grammy Award winner.
Living legend.
Currently has 9 songs in the Billboard Top 100. Well, hold on just a second. Wait, is he trying to psych out Jenny Finch, or?
Timeout.
All right, hold on. Let's listen in here, see what's going on.
Bad Bunny, you got to go here. What are you doing? What's happening right now? Oh!
Holy
That's Vlad Guerrero Sr.'s music!
What is
Wait a
happening?
second. Is it legal to pinch hit a Hall of Famer?
That is Vlad Guerrero Sr. That's Vlad Sr.'s music, Lauren.
Wait, he's not on the rosters.
It doesn't matter. It's the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball game.
The rules are, Roflo, there are no rules. Vlad Sr. pinch hitting for Bad Bunny. Anything can happen.
So pinch hitting for Bad Bunny, Vlad Sr. Of course, Vlad Jr. will be a big part of All-Star festivities.
Yes, he will. You know what? It just rolls off the tongue now. Did you see earlier this season when Vlad Sr. threw out the first pitch to Vlad Jr.?
Oh, and Jenny Finch is not messing around. Bringing the heat to the Hall of Famer.
We can play the same game. We can play the same game.
I love it. She's throwing
Okay.
it.
Right there.
Okay.
Oh, I'm enjoying this show right now. This is so much fun, Roflo. Okay.
Vlad Sr. sends one deep to left, but just shy of the fence. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, through 1. Brooklyn leading Los Angeles 3-1. Second inning coming up.
Vlad Jr. just flies like, oh yeah, Vlad Sr. Like, I don't even think about it.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. Lauren Gardner, Robert Flores here with you. This is the 2022 MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Game. We're in the second inning where Team Brooklyn currently holding on to a 3-0 lead over Team Los Angeles. We're scheduled for 5. Let's bring in JoJo Siwa, who we saw ground out to short in her first AB. Hey, JoJo, that was a pretty good AB you put together.
I mean, listen, it's hard to hear you right now. This field is loud, but I think you were talking about my hit. It was good, but if I get a hit again, it's going out there. No more infield, no more.
All right, calling her shot, Lauren.
Yeah, you know what, JoJo? I loved it. I watched you during batting practice. You looked good, but I loved the walk-up performance. Did you rehearse that?
Do I what?
Did you rehearse your walk-up?
Oh, I definitely did. Listen, I work hard no matter what the job is. So for this game, we prepared. We gave everything we had.
All right, so we're about to, as we welcome you here to our broadcast location, we do have a pitching change. It looks like we're going to have Lisa Fernandez getting the ball here in the second inning.
Here we go.
And she'll be facing the leadoff hitter here in this inning, the kid Miro from Jesus and Miro on Showtime. And he is really taking advantage of his walk-up music.
I was going to say, JoJo, how do we feel about those moves?
You know, I feel stressed right now. This game is so much pressure.
It is. There's a lot of people here. Here's another pitch from Fernandez and Miro.
There's so many. This stadium is way different than last year's. I feel like there's double the people here.
Yeah, this is a massive crowd. You're doing a tremendous job.
It's mega.
Here's a
Okay, here we go,
short.
here we go.
McHale over to Siwa, makes the catch, and he's out.
Was what?
Yeah, he was out. So one away here in the top of the second.
Good game!
I believe!
Lauren, I'm going to tell you, that's the most celebration I've ever seen for a 6'3" putout.
You know what? I'll take it. JoJo, how did that feel?
Now,
I've been pissed at myself because I've been playing pretty bad. So I'm celebrating that.
Hey, you redeemed yourself. What'd you see in that play?
I have adrenaline. So much of it right now. You're safe? What the hell?
oh wait, he's safe or out? No, he's out.
He was out.
No, he's out.
He's out.
He
Get
was out.
There
Tell him
is-
to beat it.
Yeah, there is no replay here in the.
Oh wait.
There's no replay in the MGM All-Star Celebrity Softball game.
Either way, I stopped the ball. It's all that matters.
Hey, that was a great catch, JoJo.
Thank you.
That'll bring up Lauren Chamberlain here in the top of the second, one away.
Okay, softball legend.
That's right.
You said that you're really nervous in this moment. How does this compare to Dancing with the Stars? Hard hit ball there from Chamberlain.
Oh! J.K. Simmons nearly made the catch. Had it, and then
she's
bobbled
going
it.
for three.
And Chamberlain's going to go in with a stand-up. Well, I don't know if they're going to call it a triple after all. That's clearly an error.
Damn, that was a good hit.
So it's a 3-base error on one of the greatest actors of our generation, J.K. Simmons.
Who takes this game almost as seriously as Bryan Cranston. He wants to do well. He tried to track that ball and stick with it. JoJo, you know how difficult it is to make those plays in the outfield.
We got to get there, man.
All right, so a runner at third.
Here we
One
go.
down here in the top of the second. And here's internet personality and actress Hannah Stocking. Right back to Fernandez. She'll look back Chamberlain at third and throw over to Siwa for out number 2.
Get her, JoJo, get her.
She ain't moving. She ain't moving. Hey, good one.
As Chamberlain
Good hit.
continues to fake like she's going to run for home. But there's 2 down here at the top of the second. And stepping up to the plate, the most must-see superstar in the history of the WWE, The Miz.
He's going down. He's going down.
Yeah, JoJo, was there any trash talk before the game with The Miz?
Oh, you know, me and The Miz, we got our Dancing with the Stars background, so
that's
of course
right.
there's a little trash talking.
Oh, boy.
That sounded good. Ball sent deep to straightaway center field. And he'll secure the catch. Sean Green makes the catch, and that retires the side. Runner left at third. It's still 3-0. We're going to the bottom of the second right after this.
Good, right?
Go on, you two. Thank you.
Going for dingers.
Good catches.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. You know, enjoy the show wherever you are with the MLB app. With coverage of in-game highlights, pitch-by-pitch features, select live broadcast coverage, and more. You won't miss a beat. Download the MLB app today. With Lauren Gardner, I'm Robert Flores. Bottom of the second upcoming here in this MGM Celebrity Softball game here at Dodger Stadium, all part of All-Star Weekend. Bad Bunny, his team currently trailing 3-0. And we will have a new pitcher on the mound. It's number 7,000, Action Bronson, rapper and chef. He hosts a talk show and a travel program. He's also published a cookbook, Lauren. It's called Bleep. That's delicious.
I think you should say what it is.
What it literally is.
You won't.
No, I can't. I have said it numerous times.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Joel McHale said it numerous times
That's
during our
right.
pregame show, which I kind of
All right,
respect.
here we go.
Yeah, Action Bronson. A lot of people geek out about this dude. He's tremendous.
Leading off here in the bottom of the second, Bryan Cranston, star of, he sends one, that's in foul ground. Bryan Cranston, a huge Dodger fan, a huge baseball fan.
So did you see his hand earlier? He walked over to show us.
I know you
Yeah,
are.
he's currently playing injured, Lauren.
Hit in the chest during BP and then kind of taken out at home plate there. Now is a chance to redeem himself. He did catch that pop-up, though.
That's right. Chops one to the right side, and that's going to get past Cuevo and past CC Sabathia, and it's a leadoff knock for Bryan Cranston.
You know, I could have seen a little more hustle out of Cuevo. You might come at me for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll be sure to have that discussion with him between innings. Hey, Cuevo, can we get a little bit more hustle?
Dearest Cuevo, I need you to play harder in this celebrity
Oh, and
softball
look
game.
at Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel Show calling his shot. And this is right headed to me.
Oh! Our camera guy almost got that.
I'm going to have to ask him for a little bit more hustle.
Yeah.
All right, so 0-1 count here to Guillermo.
Let's go.
Bryan Cranston, a leadoff hit to start the bottom of the second.
Oh, boy.
And there's one
Take
up the middle.
contact.
And that will sneak through. Cranston's going to head to third. And Team Los Angeles has something cooking here in the bottom of the second.
Where can we leave the base, by the way?
All right.
Leave the pitcher's
This
hand?
is Guillermo earlier this afternoon during BP as the celebrities were getting ready. He broke the camera.
That is solid contact, Roflo.
I mean, Guillermo, we don't really have this kind of budget to be allowing that kind of activity to happen.
Listen, we've already lost 2 softballs.
That's right.
We're ruining cameras. We're not going to be able to have nice things.
Now stepping to the plate, Joel McHale, one of the great comedic actors. That show, Community, unbelievably funny.
You know, he put us on the spot during that pregame interview. He asked me what my favorite show was. Of course, I said Community. He asked me which episode. I said Paintball, and then he said which one of the Paintball episodes.
Sends one sharply hit to left field. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Brian Cranston will score. They're going to wave Guillermo. Throw home. It gets past the third baseman, and Joel McHale will come all the way around to score.
Did you see that missed ball? That missed throw, it landed right next to our desk on the third baseline.
And we are tied at 3. It's going to be a 2 RBI double, and then an error on the throw, but Joel McHale knots this game up at 3.
How about that? Joel McHale was a tight end on the football team at the University of Washington in college, earned a walk-on spot in 1992, and then he threw out 3 first pitches for the Mariners. All of them were strikes. He wanted to let us know it's not just one. Big Seattle guy coming through for his team there.
And remember, Lauren, we still don't have an out here at the bottom of the second. 3 runs already in.
Oh boy.
We're tied at 3, and here comes Olympic champion Chloe Kim.
2 gold medals for Chloe. She goes up to
center
get
field.
it.
That will fall in for a hit. The hit parade keeps on going for Team Los Angeles here in the bottom of the second.
Robert, it seems like the formula here is just to swing at the first pitch.
You know?
Yeah.
With nobody out, you've got
I tell you,
ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on a fly ball, if they're going to catch it, stay here.
That's J.K. Simmons serving as the de facto first base coach.
I think he's the perfect man for the job. You know what? I wish he would record my voicemail for me.
He's got a great voice,
He has
a
the best
signature
voice.
voice. Here comes
Soothing.
another Olympic softball legend, Natasha Watley.
She played in last year's game, so she knows a little something about the vibe and how to handle everything. Won the 2004 Olympic gold medal in Athens, 2008 in Beijing, and is an absolute stud. I love the conversation there between her and Finch.
And she slaps one the other way. It's an opposite field base hit.
Oh, wow!
Chloe Kim is going to stop at second, but now she will go to third as the ball gets loose in the outfield. Watley hung up between
There she
second
goes,
and
she's
third.
going for home!
And now Chloe Kim comes home. Some shoddy defense from Team Brooklyn has allowed Team Los Angeles to take a 4-3 lead.
What is happening in left field right between his legs?
Now look, Action Bronson has not been excellent on the mound, but his defense is certainly letting him down.
Yes, it certainly is. His ERA creeping up there, Rofo, but I don't know what was going on in left field. We all know you got to drop that knee.
That's right.
Any ball on
You
the
can't
ground.
let that get past you.
Fundamental baseball.
Stepping to the plate now, Jerry Lorenzo, American fashion designer. And Lauren, he's got some strong baseball ties. He's the son of former Major League coach and former Major League manager, Jerry Manuel.
Yeah, and he also works for the Dodgers organization, helped him get into the sport and into the industry for that matter. So I expect big things from him at the plate here.
High fly ball,
That's
headed in our
shoot.
direction. Jenny Finch gave it a look, but unable to make the catch.
You know what? There's a lot of debris here on the field.
Yeah,
It's
you've got
good to err on the side of caution.
You've got to be
You're
careful.
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, the open jersey.
Okay.
I'm a fan of that look.
All right,
It's a vibe. Dang.
once again, Action Bronson still looking for his first out here in the bottom of the second.
By the way, how about this? Jerry Lorenzo worked with Justin Bieber to design his tour merchandise. Anytime you have ties to the Biebs, these are good.
Absolutely. Here's another pitch from Bronson. And Lorenzo, that one will get past the outfielder. Watley will score easily. Lorenzo is in with a double.
That was pretty fast.
Make it 5 unanswered runs for Team Los Angeles. as they lead 5-3. Still no one out in the bottom of the second.
What do? They don't have a skipper at this point. Do you keep them in?
I mean, Lauren, I could use a mound visit right now.
I definitely think we need a mound visit.
I mean, something to reverse the momentum.
And it's not going to get any better here with Lisa Fernandez at the plate, standing way back in that box.
Right back, comebacker to Bronson. He'll flip over to first for the first out of this inning. Lorenzo will go to third. 5 runs already have come across this inning. Some of them earned, most of them unearned. I mean, who's to say?
It's not the cleanest defense
It has
I've
not
ever
been a
seen.
clean inning. And we've got some sort of delay in the action as I believe this is Bad Bunny's spot in the order. Remember, okay, so Bad Bunny had Vlad Guerrero Sr. come out and hit for him.
Uh-oh, he's coming back towards the stands.
Now he's going to the stands again. It's another soon-to-be Hall of Famer.
And we up.
By God, that's Big Papi's music. David Ortiz. Now, I don't think this is fair, but again, who's to say? There aren't any rules in this match.
Listen, Action Bronson already taken enough. Simulio at third is not having it. He doesn't think this is fair either.
I'm ready. You're lucky I'm not out there.
Of course.
Did you hear that from Jenny?
That's right. She
She
said,
told him, I'm ready, and you're lucky I'm not out there on
That's
the mound, because you know she would throw some heat.
So Team Los Angeles has come in with 2, not 1, but 2 star-studded pinch hitters. Vlad Guerrero Sr. in the first inning, now Big Papi here in the second.
My face hasn't dropped this entire time. This entire game has been absolutely unbelievable. Taking the first pitch, Big Papi, picky.
Big Papi, of course, will be inducted and enshrined into Cooperstown later this summer at the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Deservedly so. First ballot Hall of Famer.
He's scared.
What's not to love about
I'm
the
scared
legend
too.
that is David Ortiz?
Oh, that was his heat.
So far, he has not taken the bat off his shoulder here against Action Bronson.
There it is.
High fly ball. It's not going to leave the infield, but Bronson can't make the play, and Lorenzo will come in to score. And that's probably the cheapest RBI David Ortiz has ever had in his career.
I mean, must be
That
nice
is
to pull people out of the stands.
100%.
But he'll take it as he exchanges pleasantries with CC Sabathia as you see Lorenzo coming in with the 6th run of this inning. Remember, Team Brooklyn had a 3-0 lead when this inning began before Team Los Angeles has come storming back with 6 runs here in the second inning. And now, former Dodger great, 2-time All-Star, Sean Green.
Oh, we got action.
Uh-oh, Rexy, I don't think this one quite has the distance. It'll find foul territory, and we'll do it again.
Listen, it was so worth it, though, for that Big Papi moment here in this stadium. Kudos to Bad Bunny for giving up 2 ABs. I want to see him take some hacks at the plate, though.
He's got quite a Rolodex. Sharply hit ball over the leaping Quavo. It will roll all the way to the wall. David Ortiz is going to round third and score. And Sean Green is in with a triple.
At this point in time, I think Jenny Finch needs to pay Action Bronson a visit. What do you even say at this point? Or maybe they just swap positions.
I don't know, probably 10. It feels like 10.
7 runs already come across here for Team Los Angeles. And J.K. Simmons will be the 10th batter here in this inning. And we're going to explain that is the maximum allowed per inning. So no matter what J.K. Simmons does here,
So probably don't want to be
this
walking
inning
then, I
more
guess.
than likely we think is going to come
Probably don't
to
want
an
to be
end.
walking.
Want to hit? Let's
Did
go.
you see his stance?
I did not.
He means business. Watch this.
There's a sharply hit ball up the middle. It's a base hit for J.K. Simmons, an RBI single, part of an 8-run second inning, and that's going to do it. You're only allowed 10 batters per inning.
¿Qué son?
So that will do it after 2 innings. Team Los Angeles with a huge 8-run second inning in control here in the top of the third. We're back after this. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. Lauren Gardner, Robert Flores, 2022 MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game. We're in the top of the third. We're scheduled for 5. Team Los Angeles just got through scoring 8 runs in the bottom of the second. And we're pleased to be joined by Anthony Ramos for Team Brooklyn. Anthony.
Yeah.
Man, how do you guys respond after that big 8-run inning for Team Los Angeles?
Oh my, I'm trying to figure out how we respond. We just got to hit the ball. We just got, you know, little by little right now, man. That was a rough one.
Hey, we talked earlier today about you play softball a lot, or at least you used to, with the Hamilton team. Yeah. And you guys were part of the Broadway Softball League.
Yeah, no, we had a good squad. We had a good team, man. We made it to the championship. We lost, unfortunately, but nah, we killed it, you know what I'm saying? It was good, though.
And you were a bit of a ringer, Anthony, because you played in high school. You said you could have played in college, but something else got in the way.
You said I was a ringer. Nah. All these major league players pinch hitting on Bad Bunny's team. They all ringers.
They are definitely ringers. Okay, here comes Jesus. Grounded a short. Sean Green.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Lefty throw.
Let's go. Let him
But they're going to rule that Jesus is safe. So that's what you need, Anthony. That's what you need. You need traffic on the base path.
That's it. Any way we could get it. You know what I'm saying? Any way we could get it.
Yeah, you just have to chip away. What's your strategy? It looks like a lot of guys and gals are getting hits there on the first pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to bunt the next time I get up there and see what happens.
You, sir, are going to bunt in a celebrity softball game? I dare you. I dare you.
All right, step into the plate.
Oh,
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
Come on, Yah. Let's go, Yah. My man, fellow New Yorker, Yah. Yeah, man, I know him from around the way. Now we got to get some hits, man.
He's got an interesting story, Lauren. He's an actor. He's 35. Swing and a miss there. He was born in New Orleans, grew up in Oakland, went to Cal Berkeley. He was a city planner in San Francisco, and Anthony, then he just decides to become an actor. How does that happen?
I mean, my man, have you seen him? That's how it happens. Have you seen anything he's been in? Everything he's in, everything he touches is gold, man. He's amazing. He's an incredible actor. Good guy, too.
Let's go, baby! To left field. And Team Brooklyn now has runners at first and second with no one out after back-to-back hits to start the third.
That's it, y'all. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Anthony, it sounds like you're the most vocal person there on the sideline.
Yeah,
I'm on that base, yeah.
Somebody, you know, we gotta be. You know what I'm saying? I'm active right now. You know, I'm at Dodger Stadium. We're in the Brooklyn Dodgers, you know, outfit right now from Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn stand up to all my peoples.
Yes, take us into that role right now. Are you going to be the hero of this game? I feel like you could speak it into fruition.
I feel, you know what? I'm gonna pray right now. God, I'm lifting up my team, Lord. And I pray that we get this W, Lord. My man, Action Bronson, number 7,000, baby.
There we go.
7,000.
Yeah, Action Bronson had a rough second inning, but that's a sharply hit ball over the head of Natasha Watley.
Let's go.
Desus will score. Yaya will score.
Baby, let's go.
Action Bronson is in with a triple, and now he might be hung up between third and home, but he'll
That's what I'm talking about,
hustle
baby. That's
back
what I'm
to
talking
third.
about.
I'm gonna say it, Lauren. I did not think that Bronson could move like that.
Action Bronson almost with an
Way to
inside
rip.
the park home
Way to
run.
rip. Let's go, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so this is a nice response by Team Brooklyn
I think my
here.
mic went out. Did my mic go out?
And it is 8-5 here in the for the third. Now stepping to the plate,
We back.
Marvel movie action star Simu Lee. Grew up in Canada, Lauren. Huge Blue Jays fan. He was rocking the Blue Jays jersey in BP.
Ooh, that was a big hack, Anthony.
Come on. Yeah, no, that was a big rip. That was a big rip.
We should mention that Bryan Cranston is now the pitcher.
Oh, he went up and got
sends
it.
one
Call
in
it.
the infield. He made the catch.
I didn't hear it.
My man Brian's on.
Cranston.
Dirty today.
Zero. Good
Brian
catch.
getting dirty today.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm yeah.
We nearly had a collision between two former Dodgers and an actor.
I mean,
One out.
Cranston's working
One
hard
away.
tonight. He is sacrificing his body for this.
That'll bring up
100%.
Quavo. Anthony, but we're going to ask you one more question because you could be batting here soon. What's your mindset here as you prepare to take the plate as your team is mounting a rally?
My mindset right now, you know what I'm saying? See the ball, hit the ball, focus. You know, just a high level of focus right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to channel all my fellow peers over here, 100 Pence.
Oh, boy.
Quavo
Let's go,
sends
baby.
one to right field. That's going to fall in for a hit. It's an RBI knock for Quavo, and he's thinking two.
That's it, Quavo, let's go. All right, hold up.
So,
baby, you know, we just got to stay focused, stay locked in.
So Team Brooklyn has something going in the stir fry.
Hey, listen, back and forth affair. That's all
it,
you can
baby.
ask for.
That's it.
Lauren, I'm going to have to ask you to recognize that Migos reference there with the stir fry.
Oh, so how did I miss that?
All right, Anthony, good luck to you. And here comes Hunter Pence. Lauren, remember, he homered in his first AB.
He made it look easy. He almost hit this thing outside the park. Well, not really outside the park, but over the wall here in the regulation
I'd offer up my
ballpark.
son if I had one to strike him out.
All right, so Bryan Cranston, huge Dodger fan, facing
Oh, no!
giant Hunter Pence. And
Pence
he
goes
dumps him.
down!
And Joel McHale.
Cranston wants a piece! Cranston wants a piece!
Is Hunter Pence trying to fight Walter White?
I don't think that's going to end
I
well
don't think
for
that's
him.
wise.
You know what happens to people who challenge Walter.
Yeah, exactly.
They disappear.
They disappear.
Great acting job by Pence, by the way.
What's the line? He's the man that knocks at night.
I believe so. Oh, boy.
High fly ball.
Man.
Straight away center field. And it's out of here. Hunter Pence has gone deep again. Hunter Pence went over DJ Livia's stand. And just like that,
Thank you.
Team Brooklyn has crawled back within one. Actually, they've tied it.
Tie ball game, the proper celebration at the plate for Team Brooklyn. Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years.
Well, Hunter Pence tells Walter White, I'm the one who knocks in runs. That'll bring up Jenny Finch. So a brand new ball game, tied at 3. And Jenny Finch will send one up the middle. That's a base hit for Jenny Finch.
No.
And there's still only one out here in the top of the third.
Did you see Cranston was putting a little bit of movement on that ball?
He was trying.
Some spin. Oh, here comes our guy, Anthony Ramos.
That'll bring up Anthony Ramos. Go-ahead runner at
we in the mix,
first.
baby. Let's go.
I like his swing.
I like his swing, too.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to be able to hear Anthony Ramos.
Can we talk about Joel McHale and his crouch here behind the plate?
He looks kind of uncomfortable.
Come on, man.
Hey, but look.
It's a lot of legs. It's
Lauren,
a lot
once
of
you
limbs.
get to a certain age, crouching is difficult, all right? Take it from me.
Give the man some knee savers, would you? Oh, boy.
That's a hot shot. Cranston can't handle it. Jenny Finch is going to go to third,
It's
and they
stuck in
might
the
send her
fence.
home. Ramos is in with a triple,
Yes.
and Team Brooklyn is ahead 9-8.
Okay, that throw is on the line.
This is not gonna Come on, Brian.
Anthony Ramos, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What did you see? Tell us about that AB.
What did I think about what?
Tell us about that at bat.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? See the ball, hit the ball, baby. You know, I'm just trying to make contact. Oh, wait, I can't take a lead.
No, you can't.
Oops.
Softball rules, softball rules. You hit
over
that
here
thing
getting carried
down and
away.
hard. It got stuck under the fence.
Fuck, I did it again. Sorry. Yikes. Ooh.
Here's Coyle Ray. Don't worry, we'll edit that out.
Oh,
There's a
she's
swing
swinging
and a miss,
hard.
and she's out. So that's out number 2.
Yeah.
Big run out at third base. All right, once again, this is the 10th batter of this
Come on,
inning.
CC.
So CC Sabathia, Lauren, will be the last batter no matter what.
Anthony, call your shot here with CC.
Nah, Cece, just a single. Single right here to left field. Bring me in, Papo. Bring me in, my guy.
Anthony Ramos is a huge New York Mets fan. He was telling us about it earlier.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh,
There we
boy.
go.
Sabathia rips one to right. In comes Ramos, and it's a 7-run third inning for Team Brooklyn, and they reclaim the lead.
Let's go.
And just like that, Roflo.
Give them a lot of
7
credit.
unanswered. This is a heavyweight,
Let's go,
too.
baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. Except it's totally not. This is the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball game. We're back with the bottom of the third after this. Hey, do you know who's going to take home the Home Run Derby title from Los Angeles? Enter the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge and compete to win $100,000 by scanning the QR code on your screen at MLB.com/bracket or on the MLB Play app. Restrictions apply. See rules. Beautiful look at Dodger Stadium on a beautiful night here as part of All-Star Weekend here. Lauren Gardner, Robert Flores, we're pleased to be joined by Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel Show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm having a lot of fun. This is fantastic.
Now you told us before the game that you were going to drink a couple of beers to get you loose.
Yeah, before and during the game.
Oh my.
I like that. That's like,
Hey,
the sports drink.
Daddy wants a sip.
Yeah, take it. Go ahead. It's good.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Legally.
No, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
If Guillermo says you can.
Oh, and it's
then
good.
you
It
can.
smells good.
It
Oh,
smells great.
that's the good stuff there. Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna just.
Hey, what do you think so far?
So far, it's good. It's a good game. I think they're winning by 1, I think.
Yeah, they're winning by 2.
Oh, by 2?
Yeah.
All right, but it's a good game. We're having fun. It's great.
Right.
I like it.
Hey, you had a good hit there. You tried out to be the ball boy here for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
You were clocked at throwing 34 miles per hour. You think you're better at the plate?
Right now, yeah. Right now, I had a few drinks, so yeah, I'm better right now.
What did Dave Roberts tell you as you were trying out to be the bat boy here for the Dodgers?
Oh, he told me that I need to work harder, that I need to lose weight, that I need to stop drinking.
Wow.
And that I need to take it serious.
I don't know where he would ever get that idea that you need to stop drinking from. Where do you think he got that?
Listen, you gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy life, you know?
Yes. And you're clearly doing that.
Yeah.
You guys Jimmy Kimmel is off this summer.
Yeah, he's off this summer. He's coming back until September.
All right,
Oh,
there's
we got a big
JoJo
hit here.
Siwa. That's going to get past Coy LeRae, and Siwa is going to
Look at her
drive
go.
home a run. Andre Ethier can walk home.
Oh my
Siwa's going to
She's
throw
going
a
down.
goal. Stephen Nelson, get out of the way.
Yeah! Oh my God, we score! We tied the game! Yeah, Los Angeles just tied the game! Yeah! You see, we're having fun! Yeah, to celebrate, we scored!
JoJo Siwa just tied the game at 10
That's awesome, yeah!
with an inside the park home run.
Hey, good hit!
I kind of like this vibe your team has
Me too.
right now.
Yeah, I like it. I'm telling you, we're having fun.
Now watch him.
Stephen Nelson over.
Yeah, that's our own Stephen Nelson.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, JoJo.
Yeah, come over here.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
JoJo.
you see that? Right there. We tied the game thanks to you. That was a great hit. Great job.
And you went over and said something to Hunter Pence. What did you guys say?
When?
Just now, didn't you give him a hug on Hunter Pence?
Was that hit? I was so out of it, I have no idea. But I do gotta go give him a little something.
When did you think you were going to score?
When?
Yeah.
Honestly, when it touched the fence, I was like, we're going to home plate.
Got it.
I was like, we're running, we're diving, and we're going.
There we go.
Here, you want to celebrate?
19.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna go get some water though.
I didn't know.
Come on, Guillermo.
I didn't
For
know
God's
she was
sakes.
19. All right, I think I gotta go hit the ball.
Yeah, you go do that. You lead the tequila here, Guillermo.
Guillermo,
right.
you're the best, my friend.
Wow. I'm pretty sure we violated about 5 broadcasting rules and maybe a couple of state laws during that whole segment there.
Anything goes at the Celebrity
Yeah.
All-Star Softball game. Brian
Now we'll bring up Brian Cranston.
He means business tonight. He's already beat up,
Yeah.
caught a foul ball, looking for a big hit.
And you know what? This is the most 2022 sentence ever uttered.
Oh boy.
Here's Quavo facing Brian Cranston.
Quavo's throwing a little inside there.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Migos, Lauren?
Oh my God.
You know who my
Going
favorite
back to
Migos
that.
is. It's obviously Quavo.
It's obviously Quavo.
You know what? I was in the elevator last year at the
here we
All-Star
go.
game
Yeah.
in Denver, and people were freaking out that they crossed paths with him. This guy
As
is
he
a
should.
massive star.
Favorite team is the Atlanta Braves. Of course, Lauren, you don't have to tell me that Migos is made up
There's
of
no walks in
Quavo,
baseball.
Offset,
walks.
Takeoff,
There's only strikeouts.
you know?
I mean, you're dialed in, my friend.
There's a chopper to
Oh,
right side. They'll get one and maybe 2. No, ball gets away. I tell you what, that was a mess at first base.
Cece trying to put on a clinic.
Yeah.
You did.
Cece and Jenny Finch trying to turn it.
Anthony Ramos was at first, Bryan Cranston.
The
Quavo.
Miz came in from right field.
The Miz was there. Homer Simpson came in. Spider-Man tried to make a play.
Guillermo.
All right, now Joel McHale
He has
in
a-
the on-deck circle.
at the bat,
and
Guillermo.
stepping to the plate, our good friend, and maybe slightly intoxicated Guillermo.
Well, you know what? The ball gets bigger the more he drinks. By the way, Action Bronson behind the plate with his phone. He's actually filming while he's catching Quavo.
Yeah, really? Okay.
I mean, why not? That
The runner at second is Bryan Cranston. He was awarded first after about 15 people tried to tackle him at first.
By the way, Quavo played football and basketball in high school. Quote unquote, a little bit of baseball, but you can catch him at most of these events. He's so much fun to watch. Pitching performance leaves a little bit to be desired. There he is, Action Bronson. Multitasking is to put the phone in his glove in order to throw the ball back to Quavo. By the way, JoJo still so amped up.
As she should.
On cloud 9
There's
here.
a sharply hit ball up the middle, past the diving Ramos. Cranston will score, and Guillermo has an RBI knock. It's now 11-10 Team Los Angeles.
I don't know how this thing's going to end. I feel like it's going to be last bats.
Yeah, it could come down to whoever has last licks. Bryan Cranston, excellent job.
Here we go.
Hey, Andre Ethier, by the way, one of the best non-coach player coaches out there right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm super starstruck right now as Joel McHale steps in the plate. I'm calling all the celebrities by their first and last name. I'm going, hi, Bryan Cranston. Hi, J.K. Simmons.
Well,
Hi, Joel McHale.
That's how I speak to you at work,
Right.
Robert Flores, because you're a big deal.
Come on, Joel McHale.
How about Joel McHale?
Look at JoJo Siwa still feeling the effects of her inside the park home run.
Yes. Hey, she worked hard for that.
Absolutely.
She earned that.
High fly
Oh, we
ball.
got action.
In
Joel
foul
McHale
ground
coming
near
at you.
us.
Does that count?
No, it does not count.
It goes. Still duck and cover.
3 runs already in here in the bottom of the third. We're scheduled for 5. Sharply hit ball to the left. Nice job by Beltre. Ramos flips to first. Sabathia can't come up with it, but I'm not sure that they would have gotten Joel McHale anyway. Good speed by McHale to avoid the double play.
Again, former collegiate athlete, Joel McHale. CC probably wants that one back. I like his kicks, by the way.
Who, Quavo or Joel McHale?
Well, both, but no, I'm talking about CC's kicks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like those, yeah.
I don't know if we can get a shot of those things, but
Here's Chloe
they
Kim,
are
Olympic
fuego.
champion. Chopper over to the left side. Beltre is there. Bounce throw to Sabathia, and that will retire the side, but not before 3 big runs come across the score. JoJo Siwa with the inside the park home run. She was feeling it before, she was feeling it during, and she was feeling it afterwards. We're back after this. Stephen Nelson, get out of the way. Welcome back. Alongside Lauren Gardner, I'm Robert Flores. Beautiful night here at Dodger Stadium. Celebrity All-Star Softball game presented by MGM Rewards. Team Los Angeles, big third inning, leading 11-10. Let's bring in Jesus Nice, who joins us now for Team Brooklyn. Hey, man, this game's been wild so far.
Oh, this has been amazing. Just like even the fact that I made contact with the ball and I made it to the base, I'm really surprised that happened.
Oh, Adrian Beltre sends one into foul ground. Hey, what's this been like for you to be around the, former major leaguers and things like that?
It's incredible. Like, these are people I grew up watching play baseball, and now I'm sitting next to them in chairs. We're like talking backstage, we're drinking water. It's like a childhood memory coming to life. And the fact that we're playing in Dodger Stadium.
There's another foul ball by Beltre. So what's up, Jesus? Are we going to see the Yankees back here in October playing the Dodgers in the World Series?
Oh, here we go.
Say that again, you're cutting out.
Are we going to see the Yankees back here at Dodger Stadium in October at the World Series?
It's a great stadium. It's incredible. It's one of like a historical stadium, and you just see so many amazing events happening here. So just being on this field is like forever going to be a memory. And also, I have dirt embedded in my knee from sliding.
Oh, you're paying the price.
Oh, look at that.
You're paying the price.
That will forever remind me of Dodger Stadium.
I saw you giving Coy some tips with her batting stance. What did you tell her?
Listen, I told her to choke up a little bit on the bat and just swing. Just swing. I mean, the ball is so big, what you have to do is just swing at it. It's like swinging at a cantaloupe.
Hey, ask Guillermo, the more he drinks tequila, the bigger the ball gets.
Hey, real quick, give us a scouting report.
They wouldn't let us drink backstage. If we did, the score would probably be -4 to -5. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, real quick, give us a scouting report on your co-host here, who's stepping to the plate. Miro, give us a scouting report.
John, that's my homeboy, my brother. I think he's going to hit a home run.
Okay, you got it.
Oh, I like that you called your shot.
Listen,
I like the high elbow.
Let's see. VX all day, you know the vibe.
I feel like he's channeling. I don't know what batting stance that is.
He kind of knocked it.
TV's Joel McHale.
Bring in Joel McHale, can't we?
Here we go.
Fly ball. Guillermo has a beat on it, but can't make the play.
Not a home run, we will take it.
Absolutely. Pass the baton.
Bits and pieces. We kept moving the bases. We're going to get this. We got this.
Hey, man, enjoy the rest of the game. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate MLB.
Thanks, my friend. Good luck.
Joining us now, star of stage, screen, and TV, Joel McHale, who's joining us here at our broadcast location. Lauren Chamberlain, hot shot, past the third baseman. Beltre will score. What?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear
there we go.
There we go. Uh-oh.
Guys,
Hey.
most exciting game so far today, huh?
I would think so.
I completely agree with you. By the way, we're live. I just want to let you know that.
I am. What is that supposed to mean?
Well, someone was dropping an inordinate amount of.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What has been the experience like so far? This is a pretty good game.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's how many people here
There's a lot of people.
to
Place
see
is
Bad
almost
Bunny?
packed.
They're hoping he'll do a song
I'm sure
or
a
something.
lot of people came out because they're excited about Celebrity Beef on E coming out this month.
How about Bryan Cranston taking this thing very seriously? There's a
All right,
dribbler
there's
back
our
to the
first
mound.
out
Yeah,
of
he
the
got
inning.
the out.
Very excited. Bryan Cranston, he is a warhorse. The guy does not stop. As you can see, his beard makes him look 105, but he is not a day over 81. Amazing actor.
He looks like a softball playing prospector.
He does. Are you excited? He does. He looks like he was panning for tiny baseballs in a stream somewhere earlier.
He kind of did when he was behind the plate. He got beat up too.
They just there. And then you look at J.K. Simmons, and they look like brothers who haven't left the house. They're, oh my. That's a home run.
That ball is out of here.
Yeah, as Dave Niehaus used to say.
It's The Miz. It is the WWE's most see superstar, The Miz, going yah-yah.
See, at least he doesn't showboat his home run at all. That's
understated.
The humility is what I appreciate.
That's exactly.
All right, so we're down 3. Not a big deal.
We're in dingers, baby.
You're down.
Dingers all day.
You're down 2.
All right. Okay, let's just calm down. I hate to say that because he's not on my team.
Maybe he's expending all of his energy in this celebration.
I'm gonna hit dingers. And what was that? Dingers, baby!
You know, it's almost like he's a professional wrestler.
It's almost he has that skill set.
Brooklyn
Here it
Bombers
comes.
right here.
All right, you got it, Kim.
Can't make the play in foul
Are you
ground.
excited for Argo 2 with Bryan Cranston?
I am. I'm especially excited for that.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. We can't wait. Well, what's your favorite episode of Community? You asked me.
The one with the
I wanna know
paintball.
Guys,
yours.
that's like picking between my children.
I know, right?
Thank you for remembering.
Yeah, I mean, you put me on the sport.
That's true, I did. And you
wanna-
said the paintball one, which I was like, there's 5.
Do you want to comment on my jacket?
Yeah, so what's going with the sport coat? Does the MLB make you wear a sport coat?
Yes.
Sport coat
I'm
for
like,
pickleball.
there's a dribbler.
Oh,
back
here we
up
go.
down. Fernandez will feel
Out.
the
Oh, and
And
the
collision at home
collision.
plate.
Yeah,
Inside
he's
the
out.
bag?
And she
What
held
was
on.
that?
Yep, that's a gold medalist
You
right
remember,
there.
I mean, were you and I roughly the same age, like 60?
Well,
You remember back in the day, Howard Cosell would have to wear the blazer?
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is. This is an MLB Network issued blazer.
That's amazing. So you're basically Howard Cosell is what you're saying.
Basically, that's
But he offsets it with the V-neck.
Yeah, it's very good. And that stain dried up earlier.
It's not
I thought it
stained.
was a cola
not stained.
foul, but it looks great. Oop. And that was a big swing
That was
and
a
a
big
miss. We've
swing
got
and a
2
miss.
outs left,
All right,
but
we
how
were
about
talk-
those Mariners?
All right.
Go
There
Mariners.
we
Is
go.
this the year that they break the playoff drought?
This is it.
Okay.
The Mariners are in a great spot, great energy. We've got great players, very excited. Here we go.
Yaya
That's
Mateen.
That's strike 2.
J-Rod participating in the home run derby. How do you feel about that?
I am coming to the home run derby
Oh, you
on
are?
Monday. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Very cool.
I will be here.
Do you think he has a shot?
Look, I love the All-Star game, but just watching guys hit home runs is about
Oh, it's
as
so fun.
I feel so sore just by contact afterwards.
I'm not just saying this because you're incredibly handsome.
Thank you
but,
for saying that.
There is something special about Seattle sports fans, Pacific
Yes.
Northwest fans. Like, there should be, the Sonics should come back.
The Sonics need to come back.
But it's a great baseball town when the team is playing well.
It truly is, and we have one of the greatest
Calling it?
stadiums of
Yeah.
all time, and we have a great history playing in the Kingdom. Ken Griffey Jr., the big, there it is, big
There's a
unit,
chopper
and of
to
course,
third.
Oh, Chloe.
Chloe Kim fires
Chloe!
across the diamond.
beat it, he's safe.
Not in time as Yaya Mateen.
Have you seen a game up in Seattle?
I have not.
Oh,
I have
it's-
not been to Seattle.
It's Matt. You've not been to Seattle?
You've never been to Seattle?
Look,
You're
Los
missing out.
Angeles is my home, and I love it here. I love it, but that's where I grew up, and I can't get enough of it. Between the Storm and the Seahawks, the Mariners, we should have the Sonics. Now we got the Kraken. We got the
The Kraken,
Sounders.
thank you for the Kraken shout out there.
There you
Hey,
go.
I live in Denver, by the way, so sorry we took your boy. Russell
It's gonna be
Wilson
fine,
is
guys.
now the first man.
It's gonna
of
be
Denver.
fine. I feel like he might not be used to the altitude at this point, and it could be a problem.
No. Don't speak that into existence.
It's gonna be fine.
We're approaching the final few outs of this game. We're only scheduled for 5. What does your team have to do?
I think we're going to extra innings.
God,
I think
please
we're going
don't
to be
say
here
that.
until 2 in the morning.
Please don't say that.
You guys are so good at calling. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and that's going to retire
I mean, yes,
the side.
this worked out great.
Thank you very much, TV's Joel McHale.
Thank you for
Joel.
giving me a graceful exit out of this incredible time here. Thank you so much for having me.
You got
Your
it.
makeup looks great.
Absolutely.
It looks totally natural, and Miz got it in the park.
You mean
There we go.
Rofo, right?
Much more from Dodger Stadium right after The Miz. The Miz with the skull-crushing finale. Let's just remind you what happened earlier here in our MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball game. Actor Bryan Cranston injuring his hand on that collision at home plate with Chloe Leray. As you see, he's still, and now that wound has gotten worse.
It's gotten worse. I'm going to go on the IL, 10-day, so I'm due to be back just after the All-Star game.
But earlier in the game, before the game, during BP, you took one off the chest from Anthony Ramos.
Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was in the batting cage. I got injured in the batting cage. How embarrassing is that? Yeah, line drive right at me. And by the way, when I was pitching, he hit a line drive that was 2 feet from me.
That was
Same
close.
thing.
Yeah. He has it out for you. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, he's going to have a huge lawsuit coming his way. We have it on tape.
We saw you having some good conversations there with J.K. Simmons. What's your relationship like with him, and who has the better beard?
Oh, you know what? We're two old guys who have white beard. We're actually going to go up for the same role to play Santa Claus.
I like that.
Yeah, he's going to be at Macy's, and I'm at I don't know. Name another store. That's where I'm
Nordstrom.
going. Nordstrom.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a classy lady.
You know what? The Santa Claus at Nordstrom, nicer dress than the one
so
at
you
Macy's.
want to be the classier Santa Claus in the couture.
All right, as we watch Natasha Watley step to the plate. What do you guys have to do to get back in this game? I mean, you're in this game, but what do you have to do to?
Well, I'll tell you what we
win?
have to do. You know, you give it 100% where you step over the line there. You give it 100%. You don't let stop until the game's over. Look at that. Oh, coming our way.
This is coming our way. Foul ground.
Wow.
Joel McHale can't make the catch.
No.
Listen, Brian.
Way to go, Joel.
As a former sideline reporter, all that player and coach speak, well, I guess I still am a sideline reporter. Exactly. It drives me insane. You got to play hard. You got to play smart all 9 innings.
You are a huge Dodger fan. What's it like playing on this field?
It is the closest I will ever come to being a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
But I could have been. I was a 5-tool player for a long time. It's just the tools weren't anything that had to do with baseball. That's the
You
only
literally
problem.
had tools.
I had
like
tools.
a hammer.
I bought a hammer,
wrench,
chisel, and a nice plane. You know, we had a nice plane and a screwdriver that could change the heads.
There's your teammate JoJo Siwa greeting the fans with the inside the park homer, right?
Yep. Look at that. She's great.
Full of energy. Natasha Watley back to the mound. They'll get one.
That hurts. That hurts.
That's a tough one. That defense was pretty solid. How do you feel about your defense here tonight?
Oh, well, you know, there's some holes. I call it the Swiss cheese defense. We have a few holes.
Hey, but you made that nice play, that nice catch behind home plate.
Why don't you show that one?
This guy in a baseball game.
We're going to work on it.
Sean Green.
There's a former major leaguer,
Sean Green.
Here we go.
You want to
No
get
idea what
it?
it is. Yeah.
There's Sean Green.
You know what? It's just the way you played in the outfield when you were with us. It's really bringing back some good memories.
That's how focused Sean Green is on the game. Had no idea that we were on camera.
No idea.
Completely dialed
You know what?
in.
We're going to show your great catch, I think, momentarily. Here it comes, right here. Look at this. This was earlier. Now, this was after you had dropped one. This one had to feel good.
Did you have to bring up
No,
the
I'm
fact
just
that
saying.
I dropped one
No, I'm just saying it had to feel
It
good.
was more the story arc of redemption.
Yes, it was.
There's your boy right there.
I know. JK and I walked by JK and I said, "How are your legs?" He said, "I don't know. I can't feel them."
That's a nice play by Anthony Ramos. But the throw is not good.
We got a man on. Here we go.
So it's an error on Ramos, and now a runner at first.
You sense a rally?
It's a rally. That's what we call a rally here. Yeah, you get someone on first without hurting themselves.
By the way, Jerry Lorenzo lost a shoe, but he'll be at first base. There he is. Well, he's playing in flip-flops, Bryan Cranston. That seems to be...
Is he really?
Are those Yeezys? Are those Yeezys or are they Crocs? Those are Yeezys, I think.
I mean, those seem to be
can't
very
imagine
difficult to play with.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, he's a fashion
Lisa
designer.
Fernandez,
so they
hot
couldn't
shot
hit
down
him.
the third.
That's a run.
That's going to get past the
That's a
third
run.
baseman. Lorenzo's going to try for home. Throw not in time. Oh, it is in time. And they got him. Bryan Cranston, he's wearing flip-flops, and I think that came back to haunt him.
Beside himself.
And what kind of flip-flops? They have spikes on the bottom.
Not the
of
fast
those
ones.
flip-flops.
Not the fast
what
ones,
he's got.
Bryan Cranston.
He's got the fashion going, but yeah, he was rounding third like he was carrying a piano.
Oh, that's a nice play.
Man.
And correctly called by the home plate umpire.
Yeah.
You got to get down. You got to slide, right?
He should have slide. I got to talk to him.
Yeah, I think you need to pull him aside.
I got to pull our team together.
You kind of like the self-appointed player coach.
We have Bad Bunny as our manager.
Well, as Sean Green sends one foul, Bad Bunny's he's got a great Rolodex. You talk about great pinch hitters.
Making some
Vlad
balls.
Sr. and David Ortiz.
Yeah, you can't do better than that. But you know what? If you're going to have a manager, you want a bat.
That's headed near us. It'll be foul.
Hey, that's a good teammate right there. Thank you. I appreciate you looking out.
For you.
Do you have Ken Griffey Jr.
I was actually going to push you in the way. Sorry, I'll be truthful.
Maybe you could get Ken Griffey Jr. in your phone. Give him a call.
Let's get him. Let's get here, Junior.
I think you have the star power to make that happen. We talk about you being a baseball fan through and through. Well, you were filming Breaking Bad in Albuquerque. You would actually go to Albuquerque Isotope games after your filming. Tell us about that.
It was so much fun.
This will bring home Lisa Fernandez.
It really didn't matter what inning it was. You're going to see baseball. It was so much fun. And those kids out there playing their hearts out to fulfill a dream. You know?
Minor League Baseball is no joke. I actually covered a game there, and I loved how they had the Simpsons characters, those statues positioned around the ballpark.
The Isotopes were named after the Simpsons show.
Yeah.
That's what.
Real quick, as J.K. Simmons steps to the plate.
Come on, man.
What do you think of your Dodgers this season? They've been playing great.
I'm so excited. They're playing so well. And we have so many players on the IL right now. If we can just get them back and healthy, we're going to be in good shape.
Oh, absolutely.
How are they doing tonight? They're playing the Angels tonight.
Oh, we both reach for our phones.
Let me check on the old MLB app.
So intuitive, so easy to use.
Yeah.
How about Clayton Kershaw the other night?
Oh, my gosh. So
now,
close.
do you know a lot of those guys? Have you met Dodger players? And
well, that was last night. It feels like it was like 4 nights ago. It was last night.
No, I know Clayton a little bit, and he was very. Oh, get in there.
6-0 Dodgers, by the way.
It will get past Jesus in center field. Sean Green can walk home. J.K. Simmons is going to come in with a stand-up triple, we think.
That is
I don't know if they'll
crazy.
score that an error out on Jesus.
Oh, my gosh. Way to go.
Yeah, a couple of errors there on the scoreboard for Brooklyn tonight.
And it's now a 14-12 game here in the bottom of the fourth.
Here we go.
Okay, what's this conversation here?
I think they're dating.
Oh.
3 kids.
Yeah.
Andre Ethier, former Dodger.
If you can read body language, you're reading something really good there. Something's happening. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, really?
A lot of mutual respect.
Yeah.
All right. So, remember, scheduled for 5, bottom 4. Team Los Angeles would love to push 3 across here and then try to get 3 more outs in the top of the 5th.
This is the comeback here. We got 2 outs.
Oh, there we go.
Ethier skies one
to drop
to right.
Pence. And
that will retire the side.
It's amazing.
To the wrong guy.
Ryan,
It's
thank
amazing
you very
that
much
Vice
for the
President
time.
Pence can still play ball. That's fantastic. What a wonderful.
Thank you very much to Bryan Cranston. We're back after this. Much more from Dodger Stadium. Brooklyn leading Los Angeles 14-12. Welcome back to beautiful Dodger Stadium here at the 2022 MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game. Dress like an All-Star at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official on-field All-Star Game jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and more. Outfit the whole family with your favorite All-Stars gear at MLBshop.com. Yeah, come on in. You take a look at the score here. We're scheduled for 5. It is 14-13, Brooklyn over Team Los Angeles, and we're pleased to be joined by one of the finest actors of our generation, Mr. J.K. Simmons. How are you?
Oh, hold on one second. We got to get this headset on.
Beats here.
Now I can hear.
Yeah, you've got beats. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. What has been the experience like for you?
Well, he's trying to get something.
Yeah, you want to get something off your chest.
Here. Yeah.
It's been painful.
Physically?
Used to be able to catch a fly ball at one point in my life.
Oh, that. Yeah.
I was honestly so shocked I actually got to it. Don't know what to say, Coach. I'm sorry. But I do. I don't know what I can do at this point. But we can edit that from the other broadcast,
we just
right?
Appreciate the effort.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll take the RBI triple. I mean,
oh yeah, that was
not
great.
for nothing, but still batting 1,000.
No, you gave one away. You also give one.
Thank you.
There we go.
That's how team sports go.
Your teammate Brian Cranston had great things to say about you. He did, however, talk about the beard, saying that you would probably go up for the same role for Santa Claus. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think we're going to do like a dueling Santas thing.
We were actually talking about that.
Yeah. Well, we'll give
rival department stores.
Sure.
That is something that has not been explored. Absolutely.
We'll give Tim Allen's people a call and see if he wants to throw his head in the ring.
All right, so here we go. We are in the top of the 5th. It is Team Brooklyn leading 14-13, trying to add to their lead, and also joining us here is Olympic champion Chloe Kim. Chloe, how are you?
I'm doing well. So much fun.
What has this experience been like? You've been in the middle of just about everything today.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've never played a team sport before, so I'm really not used to this, but I'm having so much fun. My teammates are incredible, so yeah, just good vibes.
You're obviously an amazing athlete in your own right. How do your athletic skills translate to the diamond?
I can't run, and this is a lot of running, so...
Well, welcome to the club.
It's pretty challenging, yeah, but you know what? I love a good challenge, and I'm just having so much fun, so yeah.
Well, that's great. As Quavo steps to the plate, JK, who would you say your favorite member of Migos is? It's got to be Quavo, right?
It's absolutely Quavo.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, this could
turn
be
2? No. We got one.
Sean Green will get 1.
You know, Sean Green is playing a very gentlemanly game on defense, I got to say. He's not going for the jugular here.
Right. That's right.
How do you feel about Joel McHale on the mound?
I got honestly kind of impressed.
Yeah, I mean, you have faith in him, right?
For a knucklehead actor.
Obviously, he's trying to keep this a 1-run deficit, as it's now 14-13, and JK and Chloe.
My God, well.
Here comes Hunter Pence.
Yeah, there goes the 1-run deficit.
Yeah, this looks like it's looking at it.
Yeah, now it's
like
3.
a 2-run deficit.
Yeah, no, he's got a guy on, so.
Yes, you're right. I can't do math. I was told there would be no math.
Yeah, see, in baseball, if there's a...
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Or softball.
You know what? Maybe, JK, you just walk him.
I think that might be the play.
That might be the play.
Chloe, that might be the play. He hit back-to-back jacks. His first 2 ABs.
Oh, he's back up.
This one's going to find the seats.
Now he's getting cocky.
Yeah.
Now he's getting cocky.
Chloe, what kind of preparation did you do for this event?
You know, not enough. But
What did you say that?
Put on the eye glitter that matches.
You know, I just wanted to go for the outfit tonight.
Nice.
No way. No.
Get it, come on.
That's going to fall right in front of Guillermo.
Let's go, Guillermo. Oh, Quavo's going
look
for
at that.
Oh,
He's
Quavo's going to head home. Heads up base running by Quavo.
Now, McHale cut that ball off. Do we think he should let it go with Ethier at the plate to try and make that play?
I like where your head's at, Lawrence.
I mean, if we're going to get into it, these runs are important.
I'm more concerned that they're running on Guillermo's arm out there. I mean, apparently the word didn't get out, but he's like Vlad Guerrero out there.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we had Guillermo here a couple innings ago.
Yeah.
He was literally drinking tequila. So,
was he drinking Cranston's tequila? Or no, that's Mezcal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, our entire team is drunk except me, so it could be part of the problem.
Chloe, what's going on with your teammates and the drinking and the tequila and the whole thing?
I haven't had tequila, but honestly, shout out to whoever has had some. Like, I kind of wish I did. But I will say, when the ball is coming at you, it's pretty stressful. Like, that happened to me a couple times, and I froze like a deer in headlights. So.
But how does that compare to competing in the Olympics when you're dropping in on the half pipe?
Yo, this is way crazier. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that sounded good.
No, it's a no.
But it's playable for Bryan Cranston. And Hunter Pence will tag and head to third.
That's third.
That is big.
FYI, again, the math, that's third.
Dang it. It's tough sometimes.
No, I know.
Once you get past 2.
Here we go.
A big insurance run out there for Team Brooklyn in the form of Hunter Pence at third base. And Anthony Ramos will step to the plate. He's a pretty good player.
This kid can play, yeah. Kid, what is he, 30?
He's a kid to me.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2022. I think if you're a day under 50, you're
He's exactly 30.
No, don't you dare catch
but
that.
This could be caught, and it is by Joel McHale. And that will retire the side.
I
Chloe,
like the hustle.
JK, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
You guys got 3 more outs. Good luck.
We'll go get him.
All right.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you both.
Team Brooklyn leading, going to the final inning here in the celebrity softball game. We're back after this. MLB.TV All-Star Sale is here right now for just $47.99. Watch all out-of-market regular season games live or on demand. Plus, MLB Big Inning. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Sale ends July 17th. Go to MLB.TV for details.
Guillermo has given his teammates rally mustaches.
Final 3 outs here for Team Los Angeles. They're down 2. And leading off, JoJo Siwa.
Romo, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Romo just distributed rally mustaches. Here comes Team LA.
That's right. Now, Bryan Cranston has put his mustaches underneath his eyes to serve as some sort of de facto eyebrow.
I don't know if he understood the assignment, Romo.
I don't think so. Andre Ethier looks like a police officer in a 1970s cop drama.
I like the unibrow.
J.K. Simmons looks like Anthony Davis.
And what does Joel McHale look like with that mustache?
Joel McHale still looks like the most handsome man in the face of the earth.
It's not fair, is it?
No, it really isn't. JoJo Siwa, who will be leading off this 5th inning, has an inside-the-park home run. As Team Los Angeles looking for some traffic on the base pass. They're down 2, needing 3 to win.
JoJo looks dialed in, ready to go, following that inside the park home run. She has what it takes here for Team Los Angeles. Guillermo's bringing her a bat? What's happening? He's calling time, Roflo.
What's going on here? Oh, Guillermo wants to make sure that she too has a mustache.
The rally mustache knows no bounds.
It's not sticky.
Understand. All right, what else?
Okay, it won't stick. We'll try it. Maybe rub some dirt on it.
That's a gamer right there.
Yeah.
You're shaking your head. You're not feeling it. You're not about that life.
Yeah, I'm not confident that JoJo has ever seen a mustache, her wearing it like that. But we're back in action here. Jenny Finch started this game, and now she's going to try to close it out.
I love it. JoJo's just living her best life right now. Still riding the high of that inside the park home run.
Slow roller to short. The Miz fires across to first, and JoJo Siwa is out. Good play by the lefty Miz.
Save! Out!
Oh, she wanted it. She wanted it. That was just great defense there from Team Brooklyn.
I get you back.
One away here in the bottom of the fifth. Team Los Angeles batting down 2.
And
down
here
to
he
their final
comes,
2 outs.
Roflo. The fans are on their feet here at Dodger Stadium.
Bad Bunny stepping to the plate. Remember, he gave up his 2 previous ABs to Hall of Famer Vlad Guerrero Sr. and soon-to-be Hall of Famer David Ortiz. But now Big Bunny will step to the plate for himself and his team. Bad Bunny will step into the plate with his team needing some runs.
Oh, he's got to want it. He's waiting for that perfect pitch. And you know what? This high leverage situation, I can't blame him.
Bad Bunny swinging a miss. By the way, I think I may have called him Big Bunny. Bad Bunny in a big spot. How about that? And you know what? He is kind of tall. Swinging a miss.
This would be terrible if I struck him out right now. I'd be the most hated person on the planet.
Yeah, Jenny Finch better lay one in here to Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny doesn't need the Guillermo rally mustache. He has one of his own. And he has almost an entire packed Dodger Stadium on their feet waiting for him to do something big in this moment.
By the way, Bad Bunny might have been the most impressive wrestler at this most recent WrestleMania. So this guy can handle himself. And there's a chopper up the middle. And Bad Bunny is aboard with a 1-out single. Listen to the ovation for Bad Bunny.
This crowd was almost deafening.
And now Bryan Cranston steps to the plate representing the tying run here in the bottom of the fifth.
You think he has it in him?
I believe, yeah, he damn right he has it in him, Lauren Gardner.
You know what? We're streaming, Roflo. You can say damn.
He's Walter White, for goodness sakes.
Easy.
Bryan Cranston trying to calm his nerves, settle him down.
I feel like he was built for moments like this. He deserves that MVP too, by the way, after he took the beating that he has today.
You're right. As the rally caps are on in the Team Los Angeles dugout, if you will.
It's
Bryan
the
Cranston.
Mustaches as eye black for
Big
me.
moment. Ball inside.
Oh,
sir! Oh, sir!
Two down, let's go!
I don't, there is no way that's a strike.
It was inside. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. As he should.
Inside. Are you kidding me? No.
He deserves that dirt.
You're right.
I can't believe it. I like jump back. Really? You're stealing the game. Stealing the game from us.
You cannot do that to beloved actor Bryan Cranston.
I
I am speechless, Rofo.
Hashtag RoboUmps. Hashtag RoboUmps. Wow. Let's take another look. Lauren, this is inside.
It's extremely inside.
Now, yes,
Who is
I
this
will.
plate up? I want his badge. Yeah!
I will grant you. And Bryan Cranston has just been kicked out.
Well, he was trying to get kicked out earlier. He just had to make a little bit more of a show of it.
Oh, here's why he was kicked out. Yeah, you can't throw gum.
But
crazy.
You can't throw gum at a grown man.
It was a bad call in a big situation.
You can't throw gum at a grown man.
That's frowned upon.
I mean,
what about seeds? What about sunflower seeds?
If you throw gum at me, we're fighting. Here's Guillermo. Lazy fly ball, and that's it. That's all. Team Brooklyn celebrates a 2-run victory here in the 2022 MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball game as they take it by the final of 15-13. Brooklyn had 15 runs, 22 hits, 2 errors, but let's be frank, that probably could have been given about 5 more. Los Angeles counters with 13 runs, 17 hits, and no errors.
Yeah, the 10-batter rule really slowed both offenses here tonight. We could have been here till midnight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
50-45 score.
People eventually have to go home. All-Star weekend has to continue at some point. But it was a great time, but it comes with some controversy as Bryan Cranston, the victim of a questionable third strike call and eventual ejection by the home plate umpire.
I did
Team
like
Brooklyn
it. He had to put a bow on it by getting ejected, right? He had to make a statement.
Yeah.
I respected it.
The mustache rally comes up short for Team Los Angeles by 2. I don't know who the MVP is going to be. It might be The Miz again, Lauren.
The Miz was so humble pregame when he was talking about his previous performances in this event. I wouldn't be surprised Steven Nelson holding the championship belt next to The Miz.
Or maybe Anthony Ramos. We'll find out. But first, let's show you some of the sights and sounds from this just recently completed celebrity softball game. Check this out.
I'm at Dodger Stadium. We're in the Brooklyn Dodgers, outfit right now.
Let's play some ball! Yeah! Hit a dinger!
We knew it. We knew it.
I was like, we're running, we're diving, and we're going.
Yeah, baby.
2 seconds in the interview, I said, what? I'm gonna hit dingers. And what was that? Dingers, baby!
There you go. There's a look at an aerial shot of Dodger Stadium as Team Brooklyn goes on to win 15-13. Let's send it down to our Steven Nelson. Nelly.
Is with another. Before we announce the 2022 MLB All-Star Celebrity Softball Game MVP presented by MGM Rewards, Miz, I have to ask, you have played a heel before. How did Hunter do in that role tonight for your team?
Honestly, absolutely immaculate. His 2 homers helped us dominate Team LA, and he was booed out of the building, but guess what? He used the energy, harnessed it, and hit some bombs.
Now, Hunter, the people of LA know a few things. One, you wear sandals with socks. And all the other Hunter Pence facts. What was it like for you being a beloved former Giant back here in Dodger Stadium?
Hey, Steven, thank you. Honestly, it's an incredible honor to take this field. As much as you boo me, I love all of you, and I'm very thankful for the rivalry between the Giants and Dodgers. It's so fun to be on the field against such 2 great organizations. I love SF. LA's done great the last couple of years. It's been incredible to watch, but I love the Bay Area, and I'm thankful for my time there. Thank you.
All right, folks, so we're going to do something that we've never done before in the celebrity softball game. We're going to let y'all decide who's taking home the MVP based on the amount of... Yeah, they get the bid already.
I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy.
Which bad guy are you going to cheer?
Not as bad as this guy.
So, who thinks Hunter Pence is the MVP tonight? What's that, Miz?
If I'm cheered, this is the first time I've ever been cheered in my entire career.
Well, let's find out who thinks the Miz should hoist the MVP belt. And new Celebrity All-Star Game MVP, the Miz.
Thank you.
This is the second time you won this award.
Well, Lauren, what do you think? The Miz MVP.
No contest there. Obviously, Hunter Pence with a tremendous performance. He was just in the wrong venue. It was well earned and, you know, a very humble celebration from the Miz.
Yeah, well, the Miz is used to hoisting championship belts, and he hoists the MVP championship belt as part of the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game. For Lauren Gardner, I'm Robert Flores, saying goodnight from beautiful Los Angeles and beautiful Dodger Stadium. Thanks for watching the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.